This is PPMA TV, sponsored by Merkham and Marge, and I'm here at ABB with Julian. So introduce us to ABB, please.
Well, firstly, I'd like to say it's great to actually see people. We spent 18 months at home, so it's nice to see people. So ABB, we're here with our company B&R as well, together, to show some of our solutions and products. So we've got a couple of cobots on our stand today, and one of the things we're trying to promote at this show is the ease of programming a robot. People think that a robot is really tricky to program, but with our robot that we have on the stand, it uses this wizard-based programming, so you can really demystify programming a robot, make it really simple. We've got an example where the student who's on there only started with us a week ago, and he can already demonstrate it to customers. So that's exactly what we want to be able to show, that it's really easy to pick up and really simple, and like I say, demystifying it and trying to get people interested in robotics at an earlier age. You don't have to be a robot programmer. You don't have to be a car manufacturer who's ordering hundreds of robots. You have a robot that you can repurpose, reprogram really quickly and really simply.
Excellent. Well, if you lead the way over to the robot then, and this has been catching my eye all day. It looks very, very interesting indeed.
So we have a couple of robots here. The first one you can see here is called a YUMI, Y-U-M-I, you and me. It's what we call a collaborative robot, so it's a dual arm robot you'll see here. So it's a safe robot in the fact that all of these points here, you can't get trapped, etc. Soft squidgy bits, so that, there's no harm to people, so it can work alongside somebody when it's working together. And I was going to see if we can turn this one on, but while we demonstrate, we won't be able to do that, I don't think. But the idea is you can work alongside somebody without getting hurt. There are some circumstances where you do need to look at some of the safety. For example, if this was welding a knife, that wouldn't be particularly safe, so you might have to look at some of the safety implications. So this is what we call a dual arm YUMI. And then over here we have its sibling, a single arm YUMI. So this has two arms like a human would, so it can do those tasks, the assembly type jobs that a human might be able to do, putting small pieces together. And then this is the same version, but a single arm version of it. And what we can demonstrate on here is some of our wizard-based programming. So Felix is going to show you some of this, but you can see what we're trying to show is drag and drop type technology in order to program the robot. So you don't have to be a robot programmer. The commands that you can see are in clear English. When you want it to do something, it says something like move somewhere, move what somewhere, so move the finger somewhere. So again, really demystifying it. And what you'll also see, it's linked quite heavily to STEM, so that's science, technology, engineering and maths in schools. And a lot of what they do at primary age is this exact technology. So what you've got is a technology that they use in these schools to be able to do that. So if we show you some examples of what we can do, so you can see I can drag and drop these things, I can chuck things, put things in the bin here, and I've got a procedure here, and we do a move, and I drag and drop this here, and it says move the fingers. I click on here and it's going to say how fast do I want to move the fingers. Well, I want to move them moderately. Where do I want to move the fingers? So I click on this bit here. Let's close that screen there, bear with me.
It's great to see that, this is technology that's being sort of taught in STEM lessons at primary school, because in 10 years' time, every new sort of graduate is going to be completely au fait with what this does.
As well, especially ABB have sponsored Vex Robotics, and I was privileged to judge that, and that was like primary up to secondary school students, and they were programming it, and the programming language they were using was almost identical to this. And I invited some of the students to come down and say, look, if you can program one of these little Vex robots, come and join us in 10 years' time and you can be an engineer for us. But
what a great message to send out.
Yeah, so the idea is then what you can do is when you get to a point here, you can then lead the robot through into where it needs to be, teach it the position, and then you can easily get to, if this is going to work for me, 1 second. We're going to have one of those, the robot's shy and in
we all get shy from time to time. But it looks like a really easy to use, very user friendly, very good and accessible for new businesses as well, who maybe are entering this sort of world for the first time.
That's the idea. I think when you wander around the show, there's a lot of engineering technology out there, and robotics is always one of those things that's considered to be quite complex because of the nature of it. You always think when you see on the TV, you see a big automotive manufacturer building cars with huge robots, but we're just trying to show that they don't have to be all like that. And it's also talking about, a robot, once you buy a robot, it doesn't mean it always has to be doing that one job. It can be doing a job today and you reprogram it, repurpose it, put some more end-of-arm tooling on there, and it's doing a different job. So what we're really trying to do is get to a point where industry is getting more focused on robotic automation. We have some figures within the industry that's done by IFR, which is the International Federation of Robotics. And when you look at where we fit in with the rest of the world, we're way behind some other countries. I think in the UK we've got some amazing engineers and some amazing technologies, but we just don't want to adopt robotic automation. And at ABB we're really trying to promote that and trying to get people adopting robotics and getting to that point where they feel comfortable with it. But a lot of it is to do with maybe some of our history that we're stuck in the UK. But yeah, a little bit about us anyway there.
Well, it's time for a change, isn't it? Thank you very much for your time.
All right, thank you very much.